Hey everybody, what's up? This is Luke here, and this is a new installment of Half Price Bargains at Half Price Books. Now, originally I had a bit more of a creative idea for this video. I actually got some footage of myself driving to and from a couple of different Half Price Books locations, but my car setup wasn't really all that great with this camera. The stand was just kind of awkwardly sitting propped up against my passenger door, and so the audio didn't really come in very clearly. I was driving on the freeway, so you could hardly hear my voice, and I had the AC on because it was a hot day. So basically that just didn't really work out very well, so here I am just doing it the classic way, having the camera in front of me, my items in front of me as well, and I'm just going to kind of run through them. It was coupon week. Basically you could get items for up to like 30, 40, and 50% off. They do it maybe 3 or 4 times a year. So I got all these items with pretty big discounts. So the first one I'm going to show you here is Captain America: The Winter Soldier on Blu-ray 3D. I usually try to collect the Marvel films with their Blu-ray 3D versions just because I'm kind of a completionist. So this was 15 bucks, but I actually got 40% off on it. So it was like $8 or something. I actually just rewatched it, and I still think it holds up as one of my favorite Marvel films. I think that Captain America as a character is honestly one of the most interesting, and I think that this film sort of helps give him a wider perspective on the world as the way it is, because he kind of expects everything to be perfect all the time, but he really quickly starts to realize that things aren't always the way they seem, and that there's a lot kind of under the surface. Next up, I have Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. When I purchased this, the man who rung me up said, "Oh, that's a really great game, you're going to enjoy it." And I said, "Yeah, I'll enjoy it when I actually get to it," because I have bought so many games throughout the years and put them in these videos and just buying crap in general, just collecting and accumulating, and I've never touched half of it, and I've never been the biggest Zelda fan. I really like the storyline and I'd love to get into it. It's just that the gameplay has never really grabbed me. Maybe if I end up popping this into my 3DS one day, that'll change. But I do have it. I think I got it for 50% off. It won't focus. It says $24.99, but yeah, it's not gonna focus for me. So I got that for like 12 bucks. Next up, I actually will play this game. I really wanted this when it originally came out, but I never bought it just because I'm an idiot, and that's Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I think they just re-released this for the Nintendo Switch, but I don't have a Switch yet, so I picked up the Wii U version. It was priced at $20, and I believe I got 40% off, so it was like 12 bucks. I really like the Captain Toad minigame in Super Mario 3D World, I think is what that game is called on the Wii U. So I was really excited to hear that they were releasing a full game that was all about the Captain Toad little treasure minigame. This film I haven't seen, but I've heard about it. I think it came out in like 2014. That's the Lunchbox. It's an Indian film, as far as I know, and it just seems like a very sweet film. On the back it reads, "Enormously warm and subtle." It's about a lunchbox who ends up in the wrong hands, and they kind of become, these two characters, kind of become pen pals, is from what I remember the synopsis being. I actually haven't read the back of this just because I like going into movies without knowing or remembering much. So I'm really actually looking forward to finally watching this movie. It was $9.99, but I got it for 50% off, so it was 5 bucks, and this thing runs in at just under $20 on Amazon, so that was a pretty good pickup. Next one is another Blu-ray here. This film is Loving Vincent, and I saw this in theaters a little bit after its initial run. There's a theater in Minneapolis called the Riverview that plays movies that have been out for maybe 3 months, 2 to 3 months, and I caught this film one evening while they were playing it, and I was just really taken back by it. The art style is definitely its biggest gimmick, and it works really well. It basically runs like a Van Gogh oil painting, and the animation is just incredible. But on top of that, it also had a very engaging investigation of the reasons behind Vincent van Gogh's death, and I thought that was really interesting because I never really knew much about his death or the circumstances, so I really liked Loving Vincent quite a bit. And let's see, we just have a couple more things here. It's Rage Against the Machine's debut album. I've been planning on actually purchasing this album at a full price anyway, so when I found it at Half Price Books, I was like, okay, it's a new issue, new pressing. It was priced at 20 bucks, $19.99. and I got it for 40% off, so it was like 12 bucks. That's a steal. I'm not the biggest Rage Against the Machine fan, and their music is definitely like a fusion of hip-hop and hard rock and metal, I would say. Maybe a little bit of industrial. As far as all their albums go, I think this is the one that I can actually sit down and listen to the whole way through. This album is definitely the one that I would consider their best. So glad I found that, and I'm really happy I found this album. Bjork's debut, another just brand new pressing, no used vinyl in this pickup. Bjork is honestly one of my favorite musicians. I've been listening to her for at least the last 4 or 5 years now. And for the longest time, I couldn't find any of her records at record shops around my area. I think that maybe we're getting some imported copies, or they're just doing new reissues of her albums. But in the last like 4 months, I've actually been able to find and pick up every single one of her albums that I want, that I really wanted. And this is the final one that I had to pick up. So I was able to get it for $19.99, 40% off, so 12 bucks. This is probably the thing that I was most excited for about this coupon sale that Half Price Books was having. And that's pretty much everything. But I will show you just 2 items that I picked up previously that didn't have anything to do with the coupons, that have just been kind of sitting on a table at my house. And I was like, you know what? I'll throw them in this video. So the first thing is this movie. Looks pretty wicked. I love gory, excessive horror movies, especially horror movies of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. It's called Anthropophagus, the Beast, but then when you open it up, it says The Savage Island. So I'm not exactly sure what this movie is. It could be something really popular, and I'm just an idiot for not knowing what it is, but I don't think it is. And it's got the 18 there. I think this means United Kingdom, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong though. But I was like, I'm surprised this Blu-ray isn't region locked. But then after I bought it, I looked at it and it says region B. This damn thing will not focus, so let's just not worry about that. But it's region B, and I'm pretty sure the US is region A. But as far as I know, I'm still locked out of watching this movie unless my new Blu-ray 4K player is region free. But that I don't know, and I kind of doubt it. So the last item here, this is a film that I've seen before and I really enjoyed it. It's called The Host. It's from the director of Snowpiercer and most recently Okja, Korean director, I can't recall his name, Bong Joon-ho. This movie is or was on Netflix. I watched it on Netflix about a year ago, and I really enjoyed it. This movie was interesting because it was dark and it was sometimes scary and action-packed, but at the same time there was also a lot of family comedy and family drama, and I thought it was a pretty touching, well-written and well-done film, and I just think that this director, Bong Joon-ho, has yet to bring me down. Every single film of his I've seen, I've really enjoyed. So, that's my half-price bargains at Half Price Books. I do have something else planned for taking a trip to Barnes & Noble for the Criterion sale. I've already purchased a lot of Criterions already for this summer sale. I'll have to do a video kind of showcasing the ones that I've purchased as of yet. And I'll also do a video about me going to find more, because I have an addiction. So, that's pretty much all I got for you. This is Luke, signing off. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, morning, night, whatever it is, and I will talk to you all very soon.